Good day everyone, here's our math challenge for today. And here's our question. Given the square with a side length of 5 and this 2/4 circle, and inside of it we have a square shaded in blue, then the question is, what is the area of the square? Now, if you want to try this problem, you can pause this video. You have 20 seconds and timer starts now. Time's up. Now let's answer this question together. Our goal is to find the area of the square shaded in blue. To answer this question, one solution might be, let's call this segment as x. Of course, the other segment must be x. Now since the total side length of the side of the square is 5 units, therefore, the length of the side of this blue square must be equal to 5 minus 2x. Now since it is a square, therefore, all of its side must be equal to 5 minus 2x. Therefore, we know now the side of the square, which is equal to 5 minus 2x. And we want its area, so we need to square 5 minus 2x. Thus, this will give us the area of the square must be equivalent to 5 minus 2x raised to 2. Now, our goal now here is to solve for the value of x, substitute the value of x in this equation, and get the area of the square. Now, the question is, how do we get the value of x? To solve for the value of x, let's insert one segment. So from the corner of this large square, let's connect this to the corner of this small square like this. Now we have a right triangle right here, wherein its hypotenuse must be equal to 5 units. The reason is it is also the radius of this quarter circle. And it must be the length of the side of this square. Now, we have one leg which is equal to 5 minus 2x, and the other leg must be equal to 5 minus 2x plus x, or simply 5 minus x. Now, we will use Pythagorean theorem to solve for the value of x. So, we have 5 minus 2x quantity squared plus 5 minus x squared equals 5 squared. Now, let's simplify. 5 minus 2x quantity squared will give us 25 minus 20x plus 4x squared. How about 5 minus x quantity squared? This will give us 25 minus 10x plus x squared. Now, 5 squared is just 25. Now, let's subtract 25 on both sides. So, the right-hand side must be equal to 0. Now, let's combine like terms. Negative 20x and negative 10x will give us negative 30x. Now, 4x squared and x squared will give us 5x squared. Now, let's rearrange some terms a little bit. And then, let's divide all terms by 5. This will give us x squared minus 6x plus 5 equals 0. And also take note that we can factor easily this quadratic equation. This can be factored as x minus 1 times x minus 5. Now, take note that if we multiply these two factors, we get x squared minus 6x plus 5. Now, let's go back to its factored form. Now, since it is equal to 0, it follows that at least one of them must be equal to 0. So, we can say that x minus 1 equals to 0 or x minus 5 equals 0. Using the first equation, we get that the value of x must be equals to 1. On the second equation, we get the value of x must be 5. Now take note that x cannot be equal to 5 because 5 is the total side length of the square. If this x is 5, then the side of this square shaded in blue must be 0. And this is not possible. Therefore, x must be equal to 1. Now, since we know the value of x, we can substitute the value of x to find the area of the square. So, we have the area of square equals 5 minus 2 times 1. 5 minus 2 is just 3, so we have 3 squared, and 3 squared is just 9. Therefore, the area of the square shaded in blue must be equal to 9 square units. And as always, we are done.